CSP the right experience for all of these people that are connected to one 5G line at the exact moment that they need. So we will be able to provide extremely high speed of download for the P2P profile, more than 1 gigabyte per second. We will be able to provide extremely low latency and decent download for the person that is watching a football match live. We will be able to provide extremely low latency and high download speed for that person that is playing cloud, gaming on the cloud. All of these will be enabled because we are combining 5G, standalone, network slicing, and the real-time digital charging system. So yeah, I think the future
I think that's absolutely fascinating, Thiago, and it's definitely motivating and inspirational. Definitely. So Piyush, now you have the CSP on one side that is talking about consolidation of legacy systems, technical debt, you know, on the one end, and then on the other end, you're talking about multi-experience, automation, you know, and Thiago is really at the pulse of the customer when he's talking about all of these things. So what is the platform and the solution that can actually cater to these very convergent requirements?
Absolutely, Priyanka, I agree with both Thiago and Christoph. So the point is, you know, when we talk about monetization suits, the digital transformation journey actually started from the customer centricity, I will say, and the customer centricity is mainly defining that how your customers are, you know, happy and how they want to use and how you are empowering your customers. And this entire journey actually starts right now from the monetization is one of the major aspects to this, that how you charge your service, how much flexibility you give it to your customers. What we have seen that, you know, the traditional charging systems definitely needs to, you know, continue support what it needs to be do with the existing VoLTE 4G services, what we see from 3G, 4G aspects. But at the same time, if you really want to talk about 5G, which is going to be the game changer, we really need to look for the products and solutions, what we offer, or the technology, what we use in terms of our solutions. That needs to be futuristic. And when you talk about futuristic, it has to align with, of course, the recommendations what 3GPP is giving in terms of the open APIs, what they're publishing, how you are actually going to use it. Because ultimately, when we are talking about the enhancements in the products or the next generation of solutions, they are actually going to talk to completely the software-defined network. And the events, what we are talking about, the solutions, what we are going to, you know, events we need to charge, even the services when we talk about B2B or B2C, it ultimately needs to be understood very well. So the charging systems or the monetization engines, what we are talking about, that needs to be futuristic, and that needs to be basically supporting your existing business. And also, we are looking for the futuristic monetization services with supporting the new recommendations of 16, release 15, release 16. Another thing I would like to highlight is, you know, it's very, when I talk about customer centricity, it's very important that we understand customers' behavioral and pattern, the offerings, what it is getting created, that also needs to be very much personalized. And also it needs to be monetized in such a way that it basically give customer more, you know, advantage in terms of using more and more services. And the catalog-driven fulfillment approach, what you mentioned, is very well, I see it's very critical aspect we see right now, and the partner ecosystem that needs to basically come in when you talk about you know, selling new partner B2B offerings as part of the system. So that needs to be integrated with mainly the ecosystem of a marketplace or any other channels through which you want to sell it. And the most important thing what we see and what we are seeing, that the 5G overlay approach, where we want to actually deploy a lightweight, or maybe I will say a different sort of entire BSS system that should take care of all the requirements right now from 5G offering, creating to the fulfillment side. And then maybe we want to, you want to have a unified charging system to support those capabilities. So that is the whole approach what we're seeing, and our customers are where we work. We are actually moving to the directions. And also the experience what we are gaining right now is, the 5G is still getting matured right now in terms of standalone. But the 5G's non-standalone services are definitely, that is getting supported in a large way. There are some very interesting use cases of IoT, M2M, what we see right now. And that basically probably will be the game changer what we see in the future. And, we really see that the monetization needs to be support all those aspects to, fulfill the complete journey and generate the new revenue out of this.
So how do you see the incremental approach to digital transformation? Because there are still a lot of operators that are struggling with their legacy systems. So how exactly would you try to deal with those aspects?
Right. So as I mentioned, we need to go in an incremental approach. We are not going to swap completely the charging systems in a day. But the trend is like if we talk about the MVNOs or greenfield systems, definitely we can go for a standalone system that basically supports entire the order to cash journey what we see right now. And then of course there are 5G overlay capabilities also that we see. But of course for that the underlying system needs to be supporting those open APIs needs to be supported, orchestration capabilities has to be brought in, and also we need to basically follow the deployment aspects also, how we can scale up, scale down those services when you want to support. Absolutely. So we see it's a path for right from B2B to B2C, and definitely we see a lot of customers are following this approach, and we really see that's how it is going to happen in the future.
Absolutely. So it's almost like a dual speed approach.
Sure. Thank you.
So I think the pace that we're expecting things to change to cater to all these rapidly, rapidly changing 5G environment is something that we've never seen before. With the catalog-driven approach, the partner ecosystem enablement, the dual speed digital transformation activities that help in time to market and time to value services. And I think more cooperation between technical vendors and CSPs coming together to actually drive experiences of the future. And that's something that we're looking forward to see. Thank you so much for being a part of our panel.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Oops. Yeah, we need that. So for our next panel, we talk about 5G B2B2X monetization through a digital partner ecosystem. So communication service providers are pinning their hopes on revenue by investing in standalone 5G services, like we just heard. Open APIs that can deliver microservices and cater to multi-experiences through pre-integrated partner ecosystems. These digital services unlock ecosystems for B2B2B, B2B2C, and B2B2X models that are critical for 5G monetization. So thinking beyond specific verticals, communication service providers are uniquely positioned to provide to fulfillment journeys through these digital partner ecosystems. I'm really excited to invite Shireen Magdora from TikTok, who's in charge of digital partnerships, Padma Ravichanda, CEO of Technotree Corporation, and Nikos, who's the CIO of MTN Group. Please do come on stage. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Of course. So Shireen, we've had a lot of conversations about 5G, monetization, multi-experience enablement. How do platforms like TikTok tend to support operators to provide monetization through a digital partner ecosystem?
That's a good question, a large question. I'll try to resume it in 5 minutes. OTT, like TikTok, we enable the opportunity to telcos to showcase the power of 5G. 5G is a buzzword still. Everybody's offering 5G. That's great, awesome. How can telcos connect to their subscribers in an efficient and clear way to show this 5G effect, 5G power? So at TikTok, we have developed what it is to show this in a nice, creative, and a fun way. We have our AR effect, which is called Paint Portal, that we launched with in some regions. So in Canada with Bell, with Singtel in Singapore, and Globe in Philippines. It's the nice way to connect the telco, the AR world, the 5G, and the subscriber. So this is how we were enabling a concrete way for the telco to connect and to showcase. That's one thing. Some CSPs, some telcos wants to overcharge 5G network. Cool. In that case, we are partnering with them to create this new experience, and it's the telco's decision to upsell certain 5G bundles using this specific effect. That's the telco's decision. We are only the partner. We are just giving the opportunity to do so. So this is where we position ourselves. We are the team player in this game.
So it's almost like a dual nature. You see yourself as a product enablement almost, and then also an opportunity to go to market, to cross-sell and upsell different kinds of partner services.
Of course, of course. I always say we are a great tool to be used. So why not? Of course, from a creative perspective, from a product perspective, and especially we developed this AR effect for 5G subscribers and to enable this kind of innovation. And it's a easy and a quick way to show it. You don't have to watch a long video to show that 5G is a huge and a great experience and differentiating from the 3G and 4G. Just go on TikTok, on this bundle, on 5G, use your paintbrush, and that's it. So, and this is the power of it.
And it's probably going to be a TikTok where people are going to experience their first 5G experience, right?
Yeah,
most probably.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
So what are the verticals that you see are the most up and coming in terms of 5G use case, like capabilities? Do you have some? If you share something.
Not something that I can share today, yes. But definitely there will be. Again, we are enabling a whole new world. So just stay tuned.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes. So Padma, thank you so much for being here and having us all here. I would like to ask you, since the pandemic, the need for digital services has become critical and paramount. You know, Technotree has done very well since the pandemic in terms of unleashing their digital strategy for transformation. Can you tell us a little bit about your new investments into the partner ecosystem play and also the focus on sustainability and how that drives sustainable digital ecosystems of the future?
Thank you, Priyanka, and I'm glad to be here amongst all of you. And thank you for joining us today. I'm proud to say that Technotree, a 40-year-old Finnish company, has tried to stay relevant across one extra step for us in terms of bringing tomorrow's world to our customers today. We've always focused on invention, technology, and the betterment of the future. So when, just way before the pandemic, in 2018, we launched our digital stack, which is completely open source. And it has been a good success because post-pandemic, really, it was all about agility. It was about zero touch and fulfill requirements of our customers on a continuous basis. And given communication industry being an essential commodity, and given the transformation of the communication service provider from just being a B2B2C voice data player into far more integrated, immersive B2B provider of data and communication services to the enterprise, our stack was extremely ready for it. In 2021, we launched Technotree Moments, which was really our understanding that in order to stay relevant in the digital world that is fast expanding, communication service providers need to look to help create new partner ecosystems, new types of experiential services to their customers. So looking at the UN sustainability goals, we felt the key to success for CSPs, and since we work in emerging markets a lot, would be globalization. And what I mean by globalization is to bring sustainable global capabilities into local markets, modify them to local needs, and launch them as new experiences, digital experiences that the service provider can bring beyond voice and data. And things like cloud and 5G just make that much, much more easier. So Technotree Moments is a platform that integrates global ecosystem partners like GE, like Udemy, La Liga, FIFA for sports, and creates new experiences that the channels to market, which could be a platform player like TikTok or Facebook Metaverse, or it could be CSPs, or it could be digital service providers, could take to market and offer these services. I see there is a great opportunity here, and it's so nice to see TikTok in the same room with MTN, because I think the opportunities that this lends is the capability of the experiential platform, superior experiential platform that something like a TikTok brings to the fulfillment and provisioning capability and communication capability of CSP lens. And then you can imagine the future that that's going to create. It's going to create all kinds of ecosystems, all kinds of opportunities to offer new types of products, bundles, and services into the market. And so we really are excited about what this brings. And I believe Technotree Moments will be a great platform to launch it on. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Nikos, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about what it takes for a communication service provider to transform into an ecosystem service provider in today's world, given all the demand and expectation that we have?
Firstly, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be with you. MTN is, for those who don't know, MTN is a Pan-African and Middle Eastern operator serving 280 million customers. Sometimes semi-jokingly or semi-seriously, I say we are the biggest bank in the world. Mm-hmm. We serve more than 50 million customers with fintech kind of services. And we are getting up every day from bed to go to work or to go to the conference by one single conviction, which basically is that everybody deserves the benefits of a modern connected life. And there is no place, at least in my experience, I've been around the world a little bit, there's no place that has become more real than the continent of Africa, and helping and changing people's lives in their everyday way of living. So to start, before you can even enable ecosystems, actually connectivity remains and is a major thing. Rolling out network and attaching people to even having the opportunity to be participating and experiencing and benefiting from an ecosystem. We are into the 5G era. We already launched 5G in our terms, in our territories. For example, South Africa is already 5G for more than a year now. We are the first African company to be the proud owner of metaverse real estate. So as of yesterday, yes, we announced we bought the first 144 square meters, if that exists, on the metaverse, of 144 plots of 1 square meter each of real estate on the metaverse. So to try to answer your question, I think the biggest thing that actually is the most important catalytic item is actually conviction. Huh. Right? So before anybody can actually do anything, you need to have conviction. And in MTN, we have very strong conviction. From ecosystem point of view, our strategy, you are a partner, we work with you, you know our strategy. It's announced last year, Ambition 2025, convert the company from a telco to a techco, right? I know it's not a unique thing. Many people say that, but we are actually actively pursuing this activity and this strategy in this direction. We are convinced that this is the single best way to return to our shareholders value through the experiences and the customer value we can unlock. Our fintech business is effectively an ecosystem business, right? Because you enable people, but unless you build services and partners on the fintech business, then the growth is going to be limited. So we have grown tremendously on the fintech business. Our digital business, IOBA, our OTT environment, already crossed 10 million active users. It's a classic example of an ecosystem game, right? You're building businesses on the same platform with consumers. You give them the opportunity to transact, to communicate, to have the opportunity to interact, and so on and so forth, and that becomes reality. Even our EBU business, right? The opportunity to serve small, medium enterprises or even large enterprises, to give them, to expose to them ecosystem-type services, and really changing the experience they have in this jungle of the possible scenarios of what they can use and what they can consume for their own purposes, for their own customers, and making it very simple. It's a continuous search, a soul search about how do you make a right bundle or a right combined offering between MTN services and partner services to really enable the end customer, in this case a business, to create more value and generate more value for themselves. I mean, you see a lot of organizations in the world that are doing things like, insurance to families through a telecom service provider, or in our fintech platform, we have InsurTech, we have BankTech, we have all sorts of things that come out from ecosystems. And to make these things happen, I think there's two things that are really important. One is to have the infrastructure that actually enable these things to be easy, and you have heard me many times talking about frictionless experiences. The frictionless experiences are very difficult to create. Simple things are very difficult to create. I'm sure TikTok would agree with that. The more simple it is, the more engineering and design has gone into it. Exactly. So creating frictionless experiences and enabling developers to produce the right things for the end users is extremely important. We have already built what we call the Zenosis platform, which effectively is an aspiration to create an API marketplace for all Africa. And in all of these things that I mentioned, the ability to allow your thinking to expand beyond your boundaries and create even bigger ecosystems is actually, at least in my experience, extremely important. For example, the API marketplace is not simply trying to expose MTN capabilities and APIs to the world, but it's an invitation for any other organization who wants to be part of this marketplace to use this as a mechanism to expose more and more functionality to end developers that can utilize MTN or any other organization or TikToks or anybody else's. This is not a private, this is not an invitation, but it could be to actually create more and more enablement for the developers and the rest of the community to create ecosystems that generate value for the end users. So conviction is important. You will see MTN really diving into this, not only buying real estate for the metaverse, but actually hiring people, creating internal development capabilities, building software development in-house, and driving to that direction. I've come for a very long background of outsourcing. I think there's a pendulum comes back a little bit to the other side now, where we see that for these things to happen easier, actually you need a little bit more insourcing. So I think go back to the initial point. We need conviction, and the conviction is what drives your decision making and your direction.
Perfect. I think that's really promising. And I think what we've learned here today is that 5G is definitely here to stay. And the ecosystem digital strategy would help create new kinds of applications and services that we haven't even conceived yet. And where you could see convergence between education, entertainment, you could see gaming and education and gaming services. We don't know what the possibilities hold yet, but we're very excited about the future. If you have any further questions, please contact us at marketing@technotree.com. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.